A few things I learned since my very last video is that I figured out why the character screen wasn't popping up. If you recall, we'd start the game, everything would look fine, and then we'd go in, and then we'd log right back off, and then it would sometimes say connecting, and not bring up the character list. So I kind of figured out why that was. And the reason for that is that I did not give the MySQL server, maybe I got it open up here somewhere else. I did not give the MySQL server very much resources to work with. It was one core and like 1 gig of memory. I upgraded it to 4 cores and 4 gigs of memory, and it seems so much happier now. And I believe I mentioned it before because I was curious. I created a second MySQL server, and again, this time I set the cores and memory and everything up. Do I have it open here? Yeah, I still have it open. And I set it to 4 cores and 4 gigs of memory as well. So both of those running, and then I changed. Where's Notepad? Did I close it? Must have closed it. I changed the database for the login and the characters to one of the MySQL servers, and then the other server, all it takes care of is the world database. So we got one for the world and then one for the login and character lists. Takes a lot of load off the world server. And I'm actually thinking about dropping, I guess it doesn't really matter. If I needed the resources, I would drop the one MySQL server to 2 cores and 2 gigs, because the authentication and the character listing is not a big deal when you're playing a single player, or even a few. So yeah, that's it. It was just running out of memory when it was trying to load all 3 databases. So yeah, and I put separating it like that really made a difference. Every now and then I get a little hiccup, and that's probably because the network connection between the databases, because it's limited by how much bandwidth I have between the 3 servers. Since it's all on one virtual machine or one virtual host, it's not a big deal. I do need, if I'm going to keep this running, I do need to button it up a little bit so that it's all segmented off and all they do is talk to each other, and then the only one that actually sees through the switch would be the actual world, server itself, this one right here. It would be, well, this and the auth server themselves. They pull the data from the databases, but they serve the data. So these would only be the 2 apps I want to see. I want to have to be able to see out to the rest of my network. So that's something I'm going to work on next, I think. Maybe a little project. And I was trying to think of another thing I can offload to one of the MySQL servers, but I can't think of one. And all the other data in there, I don't see a good way to move any of this off. There's really no reason to. Maybe if I was going to do the web, I'd move that somewhere off. Where's it at? Yeah, if I was going to use the Apache server, I'd probably move that off to a different host as well. Not that it's really needed in such a small environment, but yeah, that's what you would do. That's probably how Warmain and such, they probably have their MySQL server off on a different system, and then their web off a different system, and all that fun stuff. That's how I would do it anyway. I don't know what they do. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Like, share, subscribe, you know how to drill. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, or if you have any cool ideas that we can do with MySQL, especially with WoW, that would be pretty cool. My next goal, I think I'm going to try it this weekend, is to do this same thing with the single player project. Now they're a little weird. They're more self-contained. Like you just run a batch file and it does everything for you, which is cool. I like it, but if I can, it's very unstable. Well, at least it has been. One of the developers posted in one of my videos that they made some updates and it might be better now. I can't say I don't believe them, but every time I've heard that, it hasn't improved. So we're going to give it a try. Give it a try without doing the database on a different server, and then we're going to try it with moving it and see how it does. It might be a lot better since a lot of the processing is removed from the main server itself onto a MySQL server. So it's worth trying. The single player project itself is really cool. It really is. After a while, though, I became frustrated with the crashes and things just not working. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that. That's kind of my plan. I might actually start that tonight, start getting things cleaned up. I'm going to delete these servers off of here and create new ones for them. So, yeah. Again, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill, and I'll see you in the next one.